Procedure for making slurry. Once the moisture content is made and kept ready, then we can start building our compost pile. The moisture content could either be cow dung slurry, mud slurry, or food waste slurry. At the end of this class, you will be able to identify the materials required for making slurry and make the slurry. Before we start, let's see the materials that will be required to making slurry. Cow dung, mud and not sand, water, stick to stir, 2 buckets and a mug. It's very easy to make these slurries. Let's see the procedure of each slurry before we go into the making of the compost pile. Procedure for making the cow dung slurry. In a bucket, scoop some cow dung, add water and stir it. Tip: if the cow dung is fresh, then add less water, and if the cow dung is dry, then add more water to make the cow dung slurry. Procedure for making the mud slurry. The procedure for making the mud slurry is the same as the procedure for making the cow dung slurry. In a bucket, scoop mud, add water and stir it. The consistency of the mud slurry should be the same as that of the cow dung slurry. Tip: if the mud is wet, then add less water, and if the mud is dry, then add more water to make the mud slurry. Procedure for making the food waste slurry. If there is a lot of wet liquid food waste, like soup, curry, etc., then that can be used as slurry. Add a little water to this food waste, and that becomes the slurry for the compost pile. Once the moisture content is made and kept ready, then we can start building our compost pile. With that, we come to the end of this class. Let's recall what we have learned. Step 1. At the outset, collect all the materials in advance. Step 2. Make the cow dung slurry or mud slurry and keep it ready for use. You have now learned procedure for making slurry. Take our next class to learn about procedure for making the thermophilic compost.